This is Defense News Weekly from NewsGate Television, edition number 19. In this episode, we bring the news regarding India to export a small fleet of helicopters to Argentina after a visiting defense minister of that country signed an agreement with top officials of the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. And in this episode, we also take a closer look at the news regarding much awaited announcement of a unified Tri-Forces command structure for Army, Navy and the Air Force. But first things first. On Thursday, the 20th of July, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and Ministry of Defense of Republic of Argentina signed a letter of intent on productive cooperation and acquisition of light and medium utility helicopters for the armed forces of the Argentine Republic. The letter of intent was signed in Bengaluru by Mr. Jose Tayana, the Argentine Defense Minister, and C.B. Ananthakrishnan, the Chairman of the HAL. As of now, no further details have emerged about the quantum of sales of these helicopters to Argentina. During the day-long program in Bengaluru, the Argentine Defense Minister and his team viewed the flying display of various Hindustan Aeronautics Limited products at the HAL airport. The team also paid a visit to the LCA project and helicopter divisions and showed keen interest in HAL products. Earlier, the Argentine delegation had landed in Delhi on 17th of July, after which the Defense Ministry officials stated that there is a strong possibility of a sale of BrahMos missiles to Argentina. After holding top-level meetings with the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, the Defense Minister from Argentina visited offices of the BrahMos Aerospace in the national capital New Delhi. India-Argentina relations were elevated to the level of strategic partnership in 2019. An MOU on defense cooperation is already in force since 2019, while both sides are engaged to conclude further instruments to deepen the engagement. According to a statement issued by the Ministry of Defense, India and Argentina are working closely together to make defense engagements an important facet of their strategic partnership. Last week, during an important meeting that took place wherein all the directors of the DRDO labs across the country sat with the Chief of Defense Staff General Anil Chauhan to discuss threadbare various challenges that lay ahead for the country with regard to ever-changing global politics and how to shape up the command structure of Army, Navy and Air Force in a unified manner. The Government of India is about to announce and implement a unification of command structure of all the three armed forces, popularly known as the theaterization of armed forces. In this Tri-Forces command structure concept, the country will be divided into 3 or 4 areas to be commanded by a single command structure for all the 3 wings of the military, namely the Army, Navy and the Air Force. The concept is not new. A small part is already in operation in form of a Tri-Forces nuclear command structure and the ANC operations, the Andaman and Car Nicobar Islands Command Area. On July 14th last week, the Chief of Defense Staff had said that technology requirements emerging from theaterization and superiority in technology and tactics is the need of the hour, and Indian armed forces are investing in new technologies to win engagements. Highlighting the principles of jointness, integration and theaterization, General Anil Chauhan said that in the national security realm, the concept of theaterization is a fundamental change that is on the anvil. It is the most ambitious changes with far-reaching implications attempted post-independence, the Chief of Defense Staff stated, while adding that the start of this journey depends on the right steps being taken, first towards jointness and integration. Therefore, the theaterization involves creation of a tri-service theater-specific structures for effective response along the entire spectrum of conflict, General Chauhan said. It may be recalled that during the Second World War days there existed a unified Tri-Forces command structure with regard to Burma Front War Zone, where all the three wings of the defense forces were in operation under one command. The Indian Army contingent comprising of 43 personnel is now in Mongolia to take part in the 15th edition of bilateral joint military exercise codenamed Nomadic Elephant 23. This exercise has in fact started on 17th of July in Mongolia's capital Ulaanbaatar and will conclude on 31st of July. Exercise Nomadic Elephant is an annual training event with Mongolia which is conducted alternatively in Mongolia and India. The last edition was held at the Special Forces Training School at Bakló in October 2019. Soldiers of Mongolian Armed Forces Unit 084 and Indian Army soldiers from Jammu and Kashmir Light Infantry Regiment are participating in this year's exercise. Indian Army contingent reached Mongolia on 16th of July by a special Indian Air Force C-17 aircraft. The primary theme of exercise will focus on counter-terrorism operations in mountainous terrain under the United Nations mandate. And now the news from Indian Navy. Last week saw handing over ceremony of 2 missile and ammunition barges to Indian Navy under the project codename Yard 75. The first handing over ceremony took place at Thane near Mumbai and the other one was at Vishakhapatnam. The ATEX missile cum ammunition barge at the eastern coast has been constructed by MSME Messrs. Seacon Engineering Project Private Limited, and the other one, the new mil-spec barge which was handed over to the Navy at Thane, was made by MSME Messrs. Suryadipta. Both the barges will have a lifespan of 30 years. Induction of MCA barges will provide impetus to operational commitment of Indian Navy by facilitating transportation, embarkation and disembarkation of articles and ammunitions to the naval ships both alongside jetties and at outer harbours. Two frontline Indian naval ships, INS Sahyadri and INS Kolkata, mission deployed in southeastern Indian Ocean region, arrived in Jakarta on 17th of July to take part in a bilateral maritime exercise with the Indonesian Navy. INS Sahyadri is the third indigenously designed and built Project 17 class stealth frigate, and INS Kolkata is the first indigenously designed and built stealth destroyer of the Project 15A class. Both the ships have been built at Mazgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited at Mumbai. The third meeting of the Working Group on Military Cooperation of Indian-Russian Intergovernmental Commission on Military and Military Technical Cooperation was held for 2 days on 18th and 19th of July at Manekshaw Center in New Delhi. The discussions between the senior officials from the Ministry of Defense and leaders representing the Russian delegation focused on extending the ongoing strategic engagements between the two sides. The working group mechanism is a forum established to progress defense cooperation between both the countries through regular talks at strategic and operational levels between headquarters, integrated defense staff, and the main Directorate of International Military Cooperation of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation. To commemorate the 24 years of victory over Pakistan in Kargil War of 1999 and to highlight the indomitable spirit of women, Indian Army launched a tri-service Nari Sashakti-Karan Women Motorcycle Rally from the National War Memorial Delhi to Kargil War Memorial Dras located in Ladakh. The all-women motorcycle rally was flagged off by the Chief of Army Staff, General Manoj Pandey, from the National War Memorial on 18th of July. The 25 women members of the rally are scheduled to reach Kargil War Memorial in Dras, Ladakh, after traversing a distance of nearly 1,000 kilometers through the plains of Haryana and Punjab and high mountain passes of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Upon reaching Dras in Ladakh, the team will celebrate the decisive victory of the Indian Armed Forces in the Kargil War and pay tribute to the soldiers who made supreme sacrifice in service of the nation. That's all for this week from Defense News Weekly, powered by Newsgate Television. Keep watching this space for more news from defense and strategic world. Namaskar, Jai Hind.